In order to install Ubuntu Server on VirtualBox, we need to first create a new virtual machine. So to create a new virtual machine, you can just create this new button on this home screen of VirtualBox, or go to the main machine menu and then select new, or simply hit Ctrl+N. This will bring up this create virtual machine dialog, where we need to select the name of the operating system and type, version, and so on. And also we can choose location to save the virtual machine files, or simply leave it to the default. So here I will choose a name, and then select Linux. Make sure it's Linux, and the version is Ubuntu 64-bit, because that is the version we will be installing. Then we hit next. Now here we need to choose the required memory size. Let's assume we will use 4 gigabytes of memory, and then we go to the next screen. Now we need to decide the hard disk that will be used to install. So we have 3 options here. So do not add a virtual hard disk, create a virtual hard disk now, or use an existing virtual hard disk file. So if you do not need a virtual hard disk, if you want to run just from maybe live CD, or you want to boot from the network, then choose this option. And if you already have an existing virtual hard disk which you want to add to a new virtual machine, then you can choose this option. But for us, we are going to make a fresh installation, and for that reason we will choose this option, create a virtual hard disk now. Once we decide this option, then we select create. So this is about creating this new virtual hard disk. There are several options. So the first option is good for us, so keep it to the default and go to the next option. Now we have 2 options, dynamically allocated or fixed size. So if you know exactly what size of storage you will require, you can choose this fixed size option. But for most applications, dynamically allocated is the best option as far my experience, because you don't reserve a fixed amount of uh, storage from the beginning. For example, if we choose 10 gigabytes as a fixed size, it will uh, reserve 10 gigabytes of storage from the very beginning. And even if we don't use that much storage, and if we hit a certain limitation, for example some system needs more than 10 gigabytes, it will be a problem later on. So it's much better to use this dynamically allocated option. Now we hit next, then we leave it to 10 gigabytes, or we can make it bigger. So because it's dynamically allocated hard disk, we can choose a much bigger size, but it will not take disk space unless we really use this amount of storage. So now I will hit create. As you can see, we have this new virtual machine already created, but it doesn't have the operating system, that is Ubuntu Server 2004 installed yet. To install the operating system, I will just need to start this virtual machine, which will prompt for installation because this hard disk is now empty. So to install Ubuntu Server, now we need to select a startup disk. That is, in conventional way, when we use install it to a real machine, we need to install from a CD or USB drive. So similarly, we need to show a installation medium. So here we can add installation medium. Here we have Ubuntu Server 20.04 64-bit downloaded. So I will select this one and click open. Now we have this virtual machine ISO added here, and we can use this one to boot our virtual machine. Now simply press start to begin the installation.